Professor Rufai Alkali, who is the National Chairman of NNPP. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
Welcome back from your trip to US.
That's Chamberlain, right?
And you also, you're looking fine, as I always say.
Thank you. Thank you most kindly, Prof.
What a scenario playing out in Abuja, and it will be the same in terms of politics in the next couple of days, because your party also planning to have your national convention wherein your flag bearer will emerge. But much as Nigerians have looked to see who will be the best person to lead this country in 2023, at the end, well, maybe you should talk us through your process, what people should expect, and why. Who are the candidates, for instance, that you think can make a difference in your party?
Well, thank you very much. First and foremost, on behalf of our party, we wish to convey our condolences to the government and people of Ondo State over the recent attack on the church in Owo, and all the previous incidences of violence around the country which have been claiming lives. We really share our thoughts with the families and people who are affected by all this violence, and we pray all this will come to an end very soon. As we are seeing now, the kind of drama that we are seeing in APC, the kind of razzmatazz, the kind of confusion you see, I don't think it will surprise Nigerians. I believe most of us saw it coming, and we indeed have been warning the party, APC, to be very careful, and but I think they took everything for granted. Now it has come full cycle. For the past few days, you can see a lot of anger in virtually all the camps, and I want to call on the APC to put the act together, not to sacrifice our democracy, not to undermine the democratic process at all.
You think that what is happening within their party can affect the larger democratic process?
Because they have been holding government for 7 years and plus almost, and they know that since they are the government holding the federal government, the party holding the federal government, whatever they do has likely implication for the system. When PDP was planning transition in 2015, it was much more organized, much more careful, much more systematic, even though at that time you may say we had only one candidate. But having been given 7 years in power, they should have been able to plan their exit strategy. And what we are seeing is that like, there was no plan for exit strategy at all, that everything is hush-posh. Suddenly,
when you say exit, is it exit from power or the president's exit from power? Which one?
Well, of course, they have been given a notice that they are going to leave.
I have to ask that because I know that you're now with the NNPP. And I'm wondering, I mean, it would seem that almost everybody knows that your party's who your presidential flag bearer is going to be. Isn't that clear?
Yes, it is clear because what we have at the moment, we have sent to Rabiu Musa Konkoso,
indeed,
the two-term governor of Kano State, former Minister of Defense, served as a senator and served various capacities. And we are also going to do our convention tomorrow to formalize all the processes.
So it's just a formality?
Well, not formal, but you know that there are people who left one party today and became presidential candidate the following day without following any process. We are following every process. He came and purchased our form. We screened him. We cleared him. And we even give offer for anybody who wants to appeal against the screening. And then therefore we are going to organize a convention fully with delegates coming. We are not just doing it just like rubber stamping. It must be done through due process, and the INE will be represented. The security agency will be there. Our party chairman, party executive nation will be there. So it's not the kind of thing you do in a bedroom and announce results.
I'm just curious. I mean, you have been a member of a major political party before now. You talked about the PDP's transition process in 2015, and you can talk about it from the point of view of somebody who was at the forefront of that.
Also, yeah.
And now you are now with the NNPP.
Yes.
As someone who has been with the PDP and now in the NNPP, what do you really think your party's chances are at the general elections?
I think this is a point I keep on stressing all the time. There was a reason for establishing the PDP in 1998, 1999. There were reasons for that. There were genuine reasons, and we had leaders and elders who are passionate about our country, about the future of our country. Most of them are late today. Only a few that are standing. And most people put a lot of hope in the party. Well, after running some years, basically the consensus that left focus. And for that reason, there was splitting within the party, which subsequently led to the emergence of the APC itself. Now, APC has run for 7 years, going 8 years now, and you can see just 8 years. The vote bond that brought them together has splitted again. So they are now fighting each other. So most of us, way back, almost 2 years ago, we believed something like that was going to happen, that they are going to implode. Because the whole thing is that what appears to be the Nigerian project has been forgotten. The issue of the Nigerians have been lost. It's all about power and power struggle for personal gain and personal interest. Look at it today. We are talking about what happened in OO and what is happening around the country all over. A lot of violence and killings and destruction. All this effort has been done to solve one problem about who will be emerged as a president of this country under a particular political party. If they put all the weight, all these meetings, day in, day out, on solving the security crisis, they would have sorted it out.
But what is going to be different with the NNPP? Isn't it the same crop of politicians who are also in the NNPP?
No, we are not.
We
are not, because if you look, you have to understand in groups, every group, within a group, you cannot put the same a brush of black to paint everybody black. No, it doesn't happen that way. Because the whole idea that even while within this party, there are certain things we don't agree with. We didn't believe in. We don't believe, for example, in imposition of characters. We don't believe in this idea that a party will now abandon the people, abandon the population, just carry on as if nothing was important. No. Even while we were inside this party, we believed that Nigeria was important. Nigerians were important.
I'm just a little curious, because when you say that the party is going to implode as the APC, referring to the APC, but we've been told by politicians that this is no more politicking. This is absolutely normal. That this is what happens before every presidential elections within the ruling party. It will almost seem like as if it's about to boil over. But at the end of the day, they coalesce.
Well, I don't know whether they do or not, but I know that historically speaking, all transitions have their own difficulties and challenges. And every transition has also peculiar variants of their own challenges and problems. But ideally, parties that are in power for a long time should be able to understand the mindset of Nigerians, understand the direction of politics, and they should put their act together. And now, having failed that, you can see everything is scattering, and we anticipate, like I said...
Is it really scattering? That's the question I'm asking.
Of course it is.
I mean, you are a professor of political science, and you're also, you're also in another political party right now, and you've been with a major one. I'm just curious whether, is this really scattering, or this is just, as we've been told, normal politics?
Well, you see, Mabe, I think you are right, because today, even the abnormal has been normalized. People are beginning to accept everything as normal in Nigeria. Things that that are usual in this country. If people are really fighting for this country, there's a way to solve the problem. People are fighting for the security of this country, fighting for a better economy, a welfare of Nigerians. There's a better way to fight for this. But for everybody to believe he must be a president of Nigeria under this circumstance, and he's not ready to concede to anybody, assuming he becomes the president of Nigeria, does he expect that he's going to run the country without the support of others? So he needs the support of others, either before the election, during the election, or after the election.
So if and when Rabi Kwankwaso emerges as the flag bearer, how does your party plan to upstage any other political party to get the ticket? Because you know that this party came into power because different groups came together. How will your party do it?
Well, I think the root of this party is a national movement. Unlike the previous political parties who just emerged assemblage of groups of interest, just like that, maybe for only one purpose, either defeating a sitting government or whatever. This is a national movement born out of the concern for the future of our country. Okay. Way back, almost 1 year and a half or so, we begin to feel that from what we are hearing around the country, that things were not going well, we are not doing well. So therefore, we created a movement that will now bring everybody back. Our own concern is that all the bridges of relationship among the Nigerians have been broken. There is a lot of crisis and tensions and hatred among Nigerians, which, of course, you used to have this kind of tension in the country. But the level and the dimensions have changed, and they were worrisome. Okay. Therefore, there was no, you could sit down and continue just complaining and just crying and making accusation. No, we thought that we must prepare in advance to plan to remobilize Nigerians. And that the whole thing was that for a long time, many people felt that there will be no alternative for what is existing on the ground. We felt that there must be alternative, and we could create the alternative. And that's why the new Nigeria People's Party emerged as a national movement to change the direction of things completely. And I think that's why there's a lot of hope now being brought to Nigerians. And when we started, most people dismiss us that we cannot go anywhere. Now things have changed fundamentally.
We definitely will have you back, probably afterwards, so that we could just shed a lot more light on what your party is going to do, the plans, the ideology, the philosophy of your party after the convention happens. We have to thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Professor Rufai, National Chairman of NNPP.